All right, if y'all standing outside, just looking, tap the screen. Tap the screen and come on in. Don't just stand outside the club. Come in and get this healing. Get this guidance. Okay. Y'all forgive me. I am still learning how to navigate live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I will get started with the content in a minute. I just want to give everyone who saw my notice that I was going live tonight. I want to give everybody a chance to kind of come in. So we'll start in about 3 minutes, guys. Okay. Welcome. I see you guys joining. Hello. Tap the screen. Come on in. We are starting shortly. I hope you have your questions ready. If you outside and you see this live, just tap the screen and come on in. You don't have to try to spy from outside, peeking through the window. Although I do know how that is, because admittedly, I do the same thing sometimes. All right. As we're waiting, I'm going to ask you guys, what's been the hardest thing for you this past week? Last week, what was the hardest thing for you? A difficult week. I always like to, with my clients, ask them from the previous week what was their blessing and their lesson from the previous week. So I want to pose that to you guys as well. Put it in the comments, drop it in the chat. This past week, what was a blessing and what was a lesson? Let me turn this down. I don't know how loud or not that is showing up on camera. All right, we're going to do one more minute. Welcome, welcome. I hope you have your questions ready. I hope you are ready to learn some good skills, techniques that can help you maintain your sanity when it seems like everything is just falling apart. Because I know I have been there recently. All right. So welcome everybody in. Hello, hello. My name is Kalina Black. I am an SEL holistic wellness coach. And tonight we are talking about turning chaos into clarity. All right. Go ahead and tap that screen, come on in, connect with me, share this live, even if you are peeking from the window and haven't tapped the screen yet. So first thing, let's do a little decompression here. All right. So I want to put your hand on your chest and take a deep breath in, out. Take another one. And one more. All right. Drop your shoulders or loosen them up a little bit. Rotate them. Want you guys relaxed, okay? So with tonight, one of the things that I want to go over is talking about clearing negative energy. Now, many of us, I'm sure, have heard this term before, negative energy, and it's not anything, or it doesn't have to be anything religious or spiritual or anything like that. Negative energy are things like stored emotions, unresolved stress, grief, unprocessed anger, or survival mode, things like that. So when you're undergoing those kind of things, it makes it difficult to just deal with everyday life and the normal day-to-day things that you have to get done. So there's one thing that I really love. I tell my student clients, especially when they are experiencing negative emotions. Negative emotions sit in the body. When we have negative emotions that sit in the body for too long, then it begins to manifest into physical illnesses and ailments. So one of the things that you want to do is get active. It doesn't have to be anything major. I'm not asking you to go run a marathon, but when you are experiencing anxiety, depression, stress, overwhelm, things like that, things that makes it difficult for you to get out of the bed, brush your teeth, wash a dish, right? Because you're just storing all that heavy energy and heavy emotions. You can do things like walk quickly back and forth up and down your hallway, right? Do some jumping jacks, do neck stretches, go on YouTube and find a quick 3 to 5 minute either meditation or what's the word I'm looking for? Yoga routine. You want to get the body moving. You can't let that energy just sit and fester. Think about when you leave water out too long and it's stagnant, it's not moving. Think of animals. They like running water. They don't like it just sitting. It becomes stale. Bacteria begins to fester, and now it's no good. It's the closest analogy that I can come up with to tell you guys that. All right. Unclench your jaws, relax your shoulders, that kind of thing. You know, we store a lot of stress and tension all up in here. You know, a lot of us, you see mine, got the little furrowed brow thing because we always in think mode and worrying about things, right? So these are the kind of things that can hold us back. And your body, sorry guys, I'm nervous, so I'm like thinking at the same time. Your body will hold emotions and release them before your mind does. So a good way to tap in is whenever you are experiencing some kind of ailment, begin to think, tap in with yourself. How am I feeling right now? Right? Like if you're angry, are you feeling that in your chest? Do you feel it in your stomach? Do you get tense in certain areas? Right? So go ahead and consider those things. And these are the kind of things that I talk about in my ebook, Escaping the Lion's Den. It walks you through being able to recognize these different kinds of emotional traps, survival patterns, and helps you get your nervous system out of fight or flight mode. Okay. Now, who likes to journal? Don't all raise your hands at once now. So some people I know they don't like to journal. We are in the age of technology now where pen and paper just doesn't do it for most people. We're on our phones, we're on tablets and laptops and things like that. So if you aren't typically a writer, then, oh, hold on, guys. I'm trying to explain, but then I want to recognize people that are coming in the room, in the chat as well. Hey, Mitch, what's up, boo? I don't know how to wave to you or something, but I see you. Hi, hi, hi. But what was I saying? Oh, journaling. So I'm the type, I like a good old piece of paper and pen. Case in point, just in case I needed to take notes for you guys or with you guys tonight, right? But if you don't like doing that, then my two suggestions that I often recommend to my clients: you have your phone, open up that notes app and write out what you need. Write out what you need to release. If you still don't want to do that, or it's a situation where you don't really have time to type something out, do a voice memo or voice note to yourself and then come back to it later. Okay? Because most people, I don't necessarily want to say they journal wrong, but you end up journaling and regurgitating all your thoughts and your feelings, but never come back to it to work through those thoughts and feelings. That way you can process it and then heal and move forward from it. Okay. So this is the method that I want you to begin using. Okay. Got a pen and paper? You got an extra device where you can type this in somewhere? I'm giving you 15 seconds. Go ahead and do that. Okay. Promise you. This is going to help. Because I don't teach anything that I myself have not done or currently do. All right. Because how am I going to know if it works if I never did it? You get it? All right. Got your pen and paper? 3 steps. All right. Your 3 steps to journaling. Step 1, you're going to do a brain dump for about 3 to 5 minutes. This is the time where you are going to regurgitate all of those thoughts, feelings, whatever emotion you are having at that time. All right. Think about asking yourself, what is loud in my mind right now? Whatever that overbearing thought is, that's what you want to begin spewing out. Okay. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about punctuation. The thing is, get it out. Because when you start thinking about grammar, punctuation, things like that, as if you're turning in a term paper or something, then you lose sight of the purpose of the journaling activity. Okay. Step 2. Ready? 2 and 2, right back at you. You're going to do a body check. All right. Where are you feeling this in your body? I have an ebook literally called, okay, I felt my emotions. Now, what do I do with it? Where it explains and teaches how to recognize the different emotions that you are feeling and how it's affecting you physically, right? Same thing that I mentioned earlier. So these are things like I said, do you get a tight chest? Is your stomach upset? Do you have head pressure? These are the kind of things that can be accompanied with negative emotions. Okay. Step 3. You ready? Did you get the first 2? If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. Ask your neighbor. Put it in. Somebody help them put them in the chat. Whoever didn't get it. Step 3. This is where you are going to reframe those thoughts that you have about those emotions and feelings. So you are asking yourself, what is this teaching me? What boundary do I need to set? That way I'm not sitting in these negative emotions. What am I supposed to learn from this? Sit with that, okay? What do you need right now? It could be something as grandiose as you need a vacation to a 5-star resort in another country. Or it could be something as simple as you just need a hot bath. What do you need? Where are you feeling that emotion? What boundary needs to be set? Okay? This is beneficial because it helps you not only emotionally regulate, reduce your anxiety, gives you the mental aptitude to be able to solve problems easier, as well as release the trauma in your body. Okay? So now I want to ask you guys, because I want this to be interactive. I don't want to just sit here and just straight talk to you guys. I plan on being on here for about an hour or so, depending on how interactive you guys get with me, okay? But I want you to answer. First question I want you to answer is, what are you currently holding that isn't yours? What emotion is bogging you down right now that was possibly projected onto you from someone else? If you are feeling insecure, let's just say, okay, perfect example. I'll use myself. One of the things that makes me insecure, particularly in one of my jobs, because I do have a 9 to 5 outside of this business, right? So one thing that can make me insecure when I'm at work is I work in mental health care. So everyone I work with is a mental health professional. And that means everyone has some higher level of education. I have not, right? So at times, even though clearly I'm qualified because I'm there, it does give me some insecurities at times, because I can feel as if, kind of like imposter syndrome, like, do I really belong here because I don't hold these same credentials? But then also, like I said, but I'm still here, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that those emotions belong to me. That could be, and I'm not, if anybody that I work with is watching this, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. This is just an example. That could, not saying it is, and may not necessarily be people at work. It could just be outer people that know me from some walk of life, that knows the work that I do. And they may feel as if I don't belong in those spaces because I don't have the particular credentials that they feel are essential to perform my job. Personally, grades and feeling like they define me, but they don't. That's a good point. That is a very good point, because with school, everything is standardized. It's not tailored, and is not tailored to the actual student. That's typically where different social clubs and things like that come in, for those like niche interests and things like that. But you are absolutely right. Your grades don't define you, because it could be that you are, the way they are teaching what you're learning just is not conducive to the way that you learn, right? And so then that ends up meaning that you get a bad grade, but in a different circumstance, then you could thrive. Great. All right, next question. What version of me is trying to emerge? When we get to a certain point in our paths, we know growth needs to happen. But there's a part of us that is still holding on to that old version of ourselves, right? And so then we end up getting in our own way. So, what is that bridge that you need to get from where you are now? You're in like transition moment, right? Where your old self, the old ways of thinking, doing, being, seeing, feeling, you know that doesn't work for you anymore. You're in this middle ground, almost like a purgatory of sorts, where you know you can't go back, but you don't necessarily have the right tools and skills that you need to step into the new version of you. I want you to sit and think, what is that you need? And put it in the chat. And even if it doesn't come to you right now, even after this, I want you to ponder on that. Okay? For those of you that are just coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Kalina Black. I am an SEL holistic coach. And I am on here today talking about how to turn chaos into clarity, right? If you're coming in, if you're coming in with heavy emotions, you're tired, you're overstimulated, you are emotionally tired, you're in the right place. All right. So to recap so far, for those of you just now coming in, of what I have discussed so far, we talked about negative energy and what that looks like. It isn't always something that is tied into religion or spirituality, and how to release that, as well as what resource can assist with that, and effective ways to journal, right? Step one is you do a brain dump from about 3 to 5 minutes. You're not checking for grammar or punctuation. Whatever it is that you feel is the loudest in your mind or blocking you at the moment, that is what you are going to write down. Step two to your journaling is you're going to do a body check. Where do you feel that emotion in your body? Do you have a tight chest? Do you have an upset stomach? Is there head pressure? Do you get RLS? Things like that, restless leg syndrome. And step three, you are going to reframe what that issue is trying to teach you. You ask it, what is this trying to teach me? What boundary do I need? And what do you need right now? All right. So let's see. I see y'all outside the peeking in through the window. Go ahead and tap your screen and come on in here and get some of this good love, this good community. All right. If you are tired of feeling drained emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, you feel like you have been carrying things for other people, that is literally what my ebook, When You're Tired of Being Strong, speaks to. Okay. All right. Any questions? Let me see. Who do we have in here? Does anybody have any questions? Did you come ready with your questions? Because if you did, now is the time. Now is the time. Don't be shy. Put your questions in the chat. Let me see. I'm just looking, guys, trying to figure out TikTok Live. Okay. Okay. No one has any questions? Okay. And anytime that you feel that you do, just go ahead, drop it in the comments, okay? And then I'll address them at that time. But moving on, this probably isn't going to be a long live then, which is fine. I plan for an hour, but again, I'm getting used to it. So, plus, like I said, I know y'all, some of y'all is looking through the window right now. So, hopefully, you're still following along and these things are helpful for you. I hope. Okay. All right. What was my next talking point? Okay. Sorry, guys. My thoughts get jumbled very, very easily. So when I'm doing something like this, I have to have an outline so I can keep myself on track, and then my computer is slow. So sorry for those long pauses. Affirmations. We know them, right? But I want to talk about affirmations that actually will hold some meaning for you. And it's not that whatever affirmations that you have been using aren't meaningful. We just want to be more intentional with our affirmations. So we all know the affirmations of helping us build our confidence, right? I am strong. I am capable. I am loved. I can do this. Whatever I am, I can statement that you want to put in, or however you do it, right? But the thing that I want you to understand is that affirmations will not work if your nervous system feels unsafe. I'm going to say that again. Affirmations, the ones you've already been using, or the examples I'm going to give you here shortly, they will not work if your nervous system is in chaos, if it doesn't feel safe. Because then you have what you're speaking and what you're feeling are combating each other. They are not aligned. They're like opposing ends of a magnet. You are saying, let me think of a good. Your affirmation could be, I can get this done quickly. I am capable. But if your nervous system is stressed because you are mentally, physically, emotionally focused on rushing to get it done, you think you're going to get it done? Instead of thinking, I'm efficient, I can get this done quickly, you may need to tell yourself, I am allowed to slow down. You do know that, right? You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to take the time that you need, as long as it's not going to interfere with anything that is important and pressing in your life. Let me say that and give that disclaimer. But you are allowed to take your time to get the things that you need done properly. You can slow down for that. Okay. Another example is, my body knows how to calm itself. It does. We don't think it does because we have logic. So your body can't naturally do what it needs to do if you are focusing all of your mental power on what you consciously can physically do to calm your body down. Like, you don't have to tell yourself to blink. You just do it. You don't have to. Your body tells you when it needs to eliminate waste. You don't tell it to. Your body does. Your body know. You get a cut. Yes, you can go get some Neosporin, a Band-Aid, Vaseline, whatever to put on it to heal it. Do you absolutely need it though? No, your body knows how to heal and calm down itself. Remember that, okay? I choose clarity over chaos. I choose clarity over chaos. I choose clarity over chaos. And in case you didn't hear me, you choose clarity over chaos. Okay? We can be so enthralled in the moment of the mountain and molehills that we are faced with that logic gets blurry. That's when you are operating in a place of emotion and your emotions are taking over versus you being analytical and logical about what it is that you need to work through at the moment. Okay. Clarity should always be in the forefront. If you get stuck in those moments where you are like, okay, I want the clarity, but you're so emotionally bogged down, that's where those clarifying questions are going to come in. What is it that I need right now? Where am I feeling this in my body? Who or what can help me get the clarity that I need? These are the kinds of moments where it's okay to slow down. Everything isn't going to come just like that. We live in an age and time now where everything is microwave and popcorn. And for certain things, love it. But when it comes to processing your emotions, working on mental and emotional stability and clarity, you can't rush through that. And healing isn't linear, it's ongoing. Just when you think you have healed from a situation, at some point, that occurrence or thing or trigger may come back around to you. And it doesn't mean that you haven't healed from it. It's just another layer dealing with that same trigger that needs to be healed. But because you healed and gained clarity over the first part that you needed healed, then you were able to move on, process, work through that, and begin living in that new truth that stemmed from that healing. And then once God, your guides, your ancestors, whatever label you choose to resonate with, sees that, okay, they've gotten it. They get it now. That same thing may come around again because now you are strong enough to heal the next layer. Does that make sense? You are allowed to slow down. Your body knows how to calm itself. Choose clarity over chaos. That was what, 3? Next one. I release what I cannot control. Why are you worried about it? if you are, let me think. We're in this blizzard now, right? Can't control the weather, but you may have had something really important that you needed to do or wanted to go or whatever. That's a bad example. Hold on. Let me backtrack, y'all. Let me backtrack. I'm trying to think of a good example where this can resonate with you well enough where it is helpful and beneficial. I release what I cannot control. You may not be able to control. Oh, here's one. You may not be able to control how others feel about you or view you, especially if it's in a negative way, particularly if it's in a negative or unfavorable way. You can't control that. The way you release it is, one, you don't let it get to you and go into people pleasing mode. You release it by accepting that, one, you're just not for everybody, and two, how you respond to those individuals, right? So you can't control how they think about you, feel about you, what they say about you. You can't control any of those things. The way you release it is by the boundaries that you set and how you respond to them, especially when you know that they are purposely trying to agitate you or get you to a point where it takes you out of your hookup, if that makes sense. Okay. I release what I cannot control. What is that one thing that you are sitting on right now where you are stewing and brewing over it? Can't really do anything about it, but you just stressed and worried to no end. What is that thing? Put it in the chat. If you're not comfortable, put it in the chat. Write it down on your notes. All right. What is that thing? Now I want you to think, how can you release it? Not only how can you release it? What will help you release it? Who can you go to that can guide you to help you release it? Okay. Last example of reframing our affirmations. I am becoming emotionally stronger every day. When we are in the murkiness of it all, when we in the mud and it looks like there is no way out, we tend to think that we aren't as strong emotionally as we are. But you prove yourself wrong, because aside from the bad days, you keep pressing forward. That's emotionally resilient. The past few months, I have been struggling with a few things, and it all seemed to have compiled onto each other to the point where, and I've shared this in some videos, if you go a minute back, where it was getting to me so much that I was beginning to have thoughts of, okay, And despite me having those feelings, I still sit here in front of you today. And that is just to share a little bit with you guys. That has been a ongoing theme in my life. But because of who I have chosen to surround myself with and who God has led me to or led to me, then it makes it easier. Your circle matters. Connection matters. And that has been, you would think that's easy, but that has been a difficult lesson for me to learn because of my past. Like, for me, it's uncomfortable, or I'm learning to work through the uncomfortability of finding community and learning how I fit within it and what benefits I bring, and not shutting down when life gets too heavy for me. That makes sense. Sorry guys, I start talking and then my mind switches a lot. I don't know. I'm probably undiagnosed on the spectrum or ADHD or something, but I am becoming emotionally stronger every day. Using these methods is also a way that helps you get there. Doing those self check-ins, doing those body check-ins, because you may think that your stomach is hurting because you ate something bad, or you need to poop or something, when really you're anxious about a phone call that you're supposed to have later in the week or something. I don't know. But that's why asking those investigative questions are so important. And again, I understand, oh Lord, do I understand how difficult that can be when you are so deeply immersed into the emotional thickness of it. That is where the connection to your community and your circle and your tribe comes in. And thank you for my tribe. If y'all in here or watching from the outside, y'all, little do y'all know, I love y'all to life. Personal and professional. Love you. Just those with eyes will see and those with ears will hear. I'll just put it like that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So just to recap, the 5 examples of regulating affirmations, not the fantasy ones. And those are okay too, don't get me wrong. But when we are talking about the purpose of turning our chaos into clarity, we need regulating affirmations. Affirmations that are going to help bring the clarity, help us process what we are thinking and feeling. That way we can uproot the problem and plant a healthier seed. So those 5 examples were, and I want you to repeat these, all right, whether in your mind or out loud. And that should be fine because we're on live. I can't see you. You may have other people around you in your environment, but repeat, I am allowed to slow down. My body knows how to calm. I choose clarity over chaos. I release what I cannot control. And I am becoming emotionally stronger every day. These kinds of affirmations speak directly to your subconscious and your vagus nerve. For those of you that don't know, your vagus nerve is what helps regulate the body's stress response. Okay. Also, too, like I've mentioned previously, when you are just like when you are feeling those heavy emotions, how I said you need to get your body moving. You also want to get your body moving because movement brings clarity. I'll give you guys another example using myself again. So, how I mentioned how, recently I have been finding clarity in the midst of my chaos. And when that happens, certain day to day things get put on the back burner. And so I knew I needed to get moving, even though my brain just would not allow my body to move until I laid there and I said, God, you are going to send me the divine help to get me out of this bed. And I am going to do at least one thing that is on my to-do list. And so God responded. I got out the bed and I swept and mopped my floors. Simple, right? You're like, girl, the cuss. All I did was get up and swept and mopped my floors. And after I did that, I felt completely drained all over again. It was like, oh, okay, I did that. I did what I said I was going to do. And now I literally can't anymore. I don't have the energy. And so I was back in the bed. But even though I was back in the bed and I didn't physically have the energy to move about and do things. Revelations about next steps for things that I needed to do or understandings that I had been seeking pertaining to just things that I'm facing and trying to overcome. After I swept and mopped my floors, solutions began to come. So even though it didn't help me to continue doing physical things that I needed to complete, that movement, taking that small action, fighting through those heavy emotions, fighting through the chaos, the murkiness, the mud, fighting through that, it did bring some clarity. And it helped bring me to the point where I began to feel emotionally stronger every day. Because every day I try to do at least one thing that I need to, whether it's domestic things, dealing with home, whether it's a self-care thing to check in with myself, whether it's a task for my business, whether it's a task for work, whether it's something with family, friends, or colleague, one thing. And each time I do that one thing, not only energetically does things feel lighter, but also answers, clarity begins to flow in. All because I did one thing. All right. Checking in with your support group is another big one. That one is probably, I'm not gonna say was one of my biggest setbacks in my growth, in my healing, because my experience with asking for help was later on, it was always thrown back up in my face in a negative way to try to shame me, humiliate me, make me insecure, that kind of thing. So after a person experiences that for so long in their life, yes, they're going to have problems and difficulties with feeling comfortable enough of asking others for help. Now, not that I wanted this live to be, or want to be surrounding anything religious or anything like that, because I don't care who or what you believe in, honestly. But when I get in those moments of, God, I know I need to ask for help. I do need the help. I have people around me that tell me, let us know when you need the help. Tell us, ask us. We're here for you. May not be able to do the very thing, but we can at least connect you with the person, place, or thing that can help. And that is why community is important, because it's a community that really gives a F about you. I'll say that because I'm sure we can all resonate. There's a difference. There is a difference. And again, thank you for my community, because I have people that, one, they are not going to let me plummet. And two, they are patient. That's probably the biggest thing that I am appreciative of. Be appreciative and show gratitude to the people and things that show you grace and are patient with you when you are going through your extremely difficult times. Because we know that everybody is going through it, right? Look at the state of the world. Everybody has something going on. I don't care what societal and financial class you fit in. Everyone has something that they're going through. If it's not financially, it's physically. If it's not physically, it's mentally. If it's not mentally, it's emotionally or spiritually. You get what I'm saying? Everyone is going through it. And that is why community is important, and why you need to speak up. And I am also preaching to myself or talking to myself in this moment, because I just lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Oh my God, and this is a live, so I can't rewind it to go back and see what the last thing I said was. Community is important because, I don't know. I'll come back to that. If y'all would stop peeking in from outside and tap the screen and come in. Who was that? Who was Mel P? You, right when I said that, you jumped back out. I don't know if you done scrolled on or not, but if you were looking from outside and remember what the last thing I said, please drop it in the chat. Probably don't, but I'll move on. All right. What was I talking about? Movement. Just move. Okay. Move your body so you can get the clarity, so you can unstuck yourself. What is this? Oh, I think my live is about to end. Oh no, there we go. Okay. All right. Once you ask yourself those investigative questions, it brings awareness into your system. Once you are aware, you can follow that up with a skill or technique to help you regulate those emotions. Once you regulate, then the discernment and clarity comes in, and then you can take action, right? And that is why clarity comes from movement. Okay, do the thing, do the task, even if it's just one. Where are we at? What time is it? 8:02. Okay, so we're about to wrap it up here. Now, questions, comments, concerns. If you're still peeking through the window and you have a question, comment, or concern, come on in. Now's the time. All right. But if not, or if no one had questions that they wanted guidance and stuff on through earlier, you didn't put that. If you don't put that in the chat, then hey, send me a private message. Connect with me in another way so you can get the guidance and the help that you need. Okay. Again, we're talking about clarity. All right. It's chaotic times. But for anyone who wants to keep this work going offline, I made Escaping the Lion's Den and When You're Tired of Being Strong. These are digital resources that help you get that clarity and get you to the point where that mountain that you are facing is really not even a molehill or anthill. It's just non-existent. Because what I've learned is that mountain really is just a mental block. And if it's not mental, it's spiritual. That's been my experience. Yours may be different, but just speaking on experience, not only my own, but those I've helped, the mountains that they are facing are usually from mental or spiritual blockages. When you have a mental or spiritual block, it's going to mess with your emotional and physical health. Make sense? So, because I did this live and I want you guys to have this resource, and let me also add, I'm doing this because through my recent journey of healing and things that I've been trying to overcome, I years ago set out to break generational curses, not only for myself, but for my daughter. That's when it came along, right? I have an almost 22-year-old. I didn't want her to have to go through life bogged down with the same kind of heaviness that I had to spiritually and emotionally. because I knew that those two things would affect her emotional and physical health. And since I have been doing that work, it was also revealed to me that it helps heal my mother, her mother, like past lineage, because these were things that they never got to heal. Maybe they were assigned with the same task, and for whatever reason, maybe they didn't have the mental aptitude, resources, that kind of thing to heal the generational strongholds that you particularly are doing, but it still doesn't mean that they didn't do their part. What they did still taught you well enough of what you needed to know to give you the strength, willpower, courage, mental aptitude, and fortitude to pick up where they left off. Because I'm not even going to heal everything, right? Like, I can't, as much as I may want to, I can't fix and heal everything and everybody. And baby, that was another hard realization for me, right? Because I take on other people's crap, right? um, but yeah, you got to find that clarity. It gets to a point where you do become tired of being strong. And even while I'm saying that right now, I'm seeing a vision of my mother and old pictures of her mother where I'm sure they probably went through the same thing. They were tired of being strong. And like I said, perhaps didn't have the resources or community that God has currently blessed me with to end some of those things. Right. But that's what I did. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I told y'all my thoughts. um but I wanted to do this or in memory of my mother, because I know she struggled in all the areas, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, with life, with things, right? And there were times that you could see that she was tired of being strong. And so that is, other than being pushed by my wonderful community to start doing more lives and sharing things like this, I also wanted to do this live in memory of her, again, because I know the work that I am doing is healing her. And tearing up, vulnerable moment. And that is because not only was it recently her birthday was on just past January 24th, but tomorrow, February 2nd, is the anniversary of her death. My mom passed February 2nd, 2019. Hold on, y'all. I wasn't expecting this on the live. Okay. Hopefully y'all didn't go too far off. But yeah, so tomorrow marks the, what is it? 7 years, 6 years, 7 years of when she passed. And so I'm doing this for her. And I hope this is healing her energy from the other side. So, escaping the lion's den. And when you're tired of being strong, I have made these 2 resources available for the next 48 hours for $12.40. They are normally $20 and over. But again, I wanted to have something accessible for the folks that really need it right now. Okay, so with Escaping the Lion's Den, this is going to be the resource that you need that help you with emotional attacks, survival patterns, boundaries, and your nervous system reset. Okay, when you're tired of being strong, this is the resource that you need to help you with burnout, emotional fatigue, carrying everybody on your shoulders, and reconnecting with yourself. Okay. You can click the link in my bio, my Linktree bio. You can purchase it directly from there. No pressure, just the support is there for when you're ready. And before I log off, one, I want to say thank you for everyone that joined my live tonight, whether you came in and actually said something or if you were learning and peeking through the window without tapping. Either way is fine. I appreciate you tuning in either way. Last questions for tonight. What are you releasing? What are you releasing tonight? All right. And with what you are releasing, what are you choosing instead? What is it that you need to let go of? And once you let it go, what are you planting in its place? What will you choose now that you don't have to worry about that anymore? Okay. So I enjoyed you guys energetically. I appreciate you guys. I plan on doing more lives. Make sure you are following, turn your notifications on. I plan on going live on Saturdays initially. And I know everybody doesn't do TikTok, but TikTok is the platform where I have enough followers to go live. I can't go live on Instagram. So if you're more so on Instagram than TikTok, then go to Instagram, look me up, same handle, 888 Coaching, and follow me there. Because then once I get enough followers there, then I can go live there. But when I go live on Saturdays, I'm calling it my Saturday Night Lives. What kind of face did I just... Well, my Saturday Night Lives, it will be, oh, yes, nephew, yes, Javon, releasing toxicity and planting in happiness, prosperity, and wealth. Clocked. It's one of my students, y'all. Yes. What was I saying? I told y'all, plus it's late, getting late. I'm tired. What was I saying? What are you choosing? Well, oh, my Saturday Night Lives. Woo, child, bring it back. I'll be going live on Saturdays, either here on TikTok or YouTube, because I just got that together. When the last time when I tried to go live on YouTube, it was trying to make me do it from some other app to stream, and so I'm like, what the heck? But I guess I don't know, child. But anyway, I'm figuring it out. Work with me, all right? But drink some water, be gentle with yourself, journal before bed if you can. Remember those 3 prompts. Y'all don't remember them. Let me go over them again, just real quick. And then it's going to be the last time, because I ain't going to keep repeating them. Brain dump, 3 to 5 minutes. Regurgitate your thoughts and feelings, all right? 2, body check. Where are you feeling it in your body? What is the sensation that you're feeling? Tight chest, pressure in your head, that kind of thing. And reframe. What is it trying to teach you? What do you need? What can help you right now in the moment? All right. That's what I have for you guys. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Till next time, guys. Peace.